Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about why you should post more on social media in 2026. It's not just for celebrities and influencers. Now, I made a similar video to this last year, and ironically, after that, I didn't post for the rest of the year because I was just too busy and didn't have the time or the energy. But in 2024, I was posting a ton on Instagram, making reels and things like that. And so I think I have a new perspective on things now after having 1 year where I was posting a lot and then having another year where I didn't post much at all. But ultimately, I still think there are a lot of positive reasons to post more on social media. Put yourself out there. I know it's a risk, and you can definitely argue all the negative things about social media and its effect on people and society, but I still think there's something for it. And if you've been thinking about wanting to do it, give it a try. And hopefully this video will give you that push to jump in and do it. So let's talk about the first reason, which was one I mentioned in my previous video, was that it helped me to appreciate my boring life more. Basically, I have a second phone, which I only use strictly for video and taking pictures with because it has a way better camera. And I'm glad I have it with me everywhere I go because I can capture all kinds of moments, especially if something random or interesting happens during my day. I make reels out of my workouts, if I'm sitting on the train, if I'm sitting in a cafe with a notebook, or if I'm just yapping in my car. And it's just nice to have a phone where I can just pick up and do that. For example, one time I was riding the train and there was just a really nice sunset outside, and I was glad to just capture some footage of that, and it ended up being pretty good B-roll in a different video. And to that note, if you have friends or families in other countries who you don't get to see very often, maybe you just want to post on social media more for personal reasons and to let them see what kind of goes on in your day-to-day life, because unfortunately they might have to miss that stuff. So you can use social media really however you want. If you want to do a more public, personal brand type of thing, or you just want to make personal stuff, keep your account private, and only share with people you know. I think it's really up to you. The other thing I like about social media is that the video or picture you take, it's not just a snapshot of the moment of what you were doing. It's also who you were at the time, what was going through your mind, how you were feeling, and it's something you'll probably forget, but maybe one day you'll randomly pull up those pictures and, it'll all come back to you. And it's kind of nice to have those memories logged somewhere. Even if you don't post it online, right? But I think it can also serve as a reminder because you'll look back on that time and realize how far you've come from maybe the person you were in that moment to now or later in the future. So yeah, appreciate your boring life. It's probably not as boring as you think, and share it. Why not? The next reason is that for me personally, social media helped me push through my insecurities, but also made me want to change them. For the longest time, I always hated having my picture taken or being on camera because my biggest insecurity was my skin. I would break out pretty badly for the longest time. I'd pick at my skin, and then I'd have a lot of dark spots, hyperpigmentation, and acne scars. And doesn't help that your phone camera really accentuates them because it automatically sharpens and puts more contrast in your images unless you edit them. And so, yeah, my skin was just a really insecure point for me. But at the same time, I still wanted to post and make content because I saw people online who I really liked to follow, and I wanted to do what they were doing. And so I could either have waited for my skin to get better, or I could have just started posting anyway. And funny enough, when I was posting so much through 2024, that's when my skin looked like the absolute worst. I think it's better now. I figured out a much better skincare routine because eventually I got to a point where I was like, I want to change. And it wasn't just to have perfect skin and look good as an influencer in a way. It was just because I wanted to change. And also it's like, hey, if I can push myself to post in spite of my insecurities, then I can also push myself to work on those insecurities and just do the best I can with them. And so the other thing too is you realize that no one's going to say anything about your insecurities, most likely. I know internet bullying can definitely happen, um, but I think it's just it just gets to a point where it's like you either let your insecurities run your life or you live your life. And that's something I always wondered about for myself. And it's like I could be afraid, I can doubt and worry that I don't look a certain way and this and that, or I can just try. The point I'm making is don't let your insecurities stop you from trying something you want to do. If you want to post, even if you have something you don't like about yourself, it might actually be something that someone else needs to see. Maybe someone else out there struggles with bad skincare, and then they see that someone who also doesn't have great skin or has struggled with acne is still posting and showing themselves. That could give them a boost of courage or something. That actually kind of leads into my next point, which is you never know who's watching. There was an interview where Tyler, the creator, talked about how he found this guy who made beats on YouTube or something, and the guy's videos only got like 6 views. But Tyler, the creator, liked his content so much that he hit him up and hired him to make beats for him. I think it was something like that. But that's the point, right? Like you post. It's kind of funny actually that complete strangers will find your videos much faster than probably the people you know. So even if you make something that only gets 10 views, 50 views, or 1,000 views, you never know who any one of those people are. It could be some major celebrity or some major brand who just likes what you're doing enough to give you an opportunity, and that could change your whole life. On the flip side, you just never know how some random piece of content you decide to share just impact someone. It might be what they needed to hear at that exact moment in time. It might be that random video they come across at 2 a.m. and it just like speaks to them and gives them some kind of motivation or hope that they needed. And all because you took a chance and just shared a piece of yourself online. I think that's pretty amazing, which also kind of ties into another point I want to make, which is with the internet, you can meet like-minded people. You might find you have more in common with some random person in Oklahoma or something than you do with your coworkers or your next door neighbor. And you wouldn't have found that out if they hadn't posted content online, or maybe you start posting content online and then you guys have a conversation in the comments. So again, you just never know who's going to see your content and what it could lead to. So that's the thing. And people have described like posting on social media like getting a free lottery ticket. If you could get as many lottery tickets as you could for free, how many would you get if it increased your chances of winning the lottery? The other thing too is you never know who's going to learn from what you're posting. And I can definitely say I've learned a lot about things from people online, complete strangers, normal people posting, than I've learned probably to some degree in school and to the people around me. Especially, for example, fitness. I've learned more from relating and learning from people who post fitness content. Because chances are a lot of the people around you are not taking care of their health, are not interested in tracking their calories and what they eat, things like that. But you can connect with someone online who's talking about the exact same things you're thinking about, who has the same doubts and goals and whatever it is, and you can connect with them better. So yeah, you never know who's watching, you never know who you're going to impact or how posting could impact your life. The next reason is that you can document your own journey. If you're working to accomplish something, vlog about it, talk about your day-to-day routine. Me personally, I'm trying to start an indie comic business, and a big reason for that is when I think of these major companies like Apple, Amazon, Mirage Studios, the guys who created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, these are all mega successful companies. But I would love to have learned what their early days were like, especially because a big part of their lore is that they started in someone's garage or someone's apartment. And I wish I could have seen those early days to know, what they were doing on a regular basis, what kind of decisions they were making, and the conversations they were having, and how they built something from the ground to what it is today. And it just sucks that there wasn't YouTube at the time, that there was footage of that. And so thankfully there is YouTube now. And I think seeing a company build from a ground up is such a fascinating thing. And it can be anything, right? It could be someone's fitness journey, trying to lose a certain amount of weight. It could be someone's art career, all kinds of things. It's actually, you can inform people. You can also inspire them and show them that, hey, you're just a regular person, but you're making different kinds of decisions and taking different kinds of risks. That is why you're able to like make progress or success happen. But I think it's important to document your journey. Again, you never know who's going to be inspired by it, who's going to learn from it. And then one day, if you do become mega successful, you'll have this whole like library backstory that people can refer to, and it'll become part of your origin story. The next reason to post more on social media is it will force you to learn consistency and delayed gratification. You work on a video or something for hours, you post it, it only gets a few views, and then just kind of sits dead in the water. It's demotivating, it sucks. You were hoping this would be the video that took off. And if you're just starting out on posting content, you have to put more reps in. You've only just gotten started. And as well as the algorithm has to like figure out your videos and who to show them to and stuff. I don't know how it works, but I think by continuing to post, it's kind of like that lottery ticket analogy again. You never know which piece of content is going to be the one that takes off. But either way, you have to be patient and just stick to the grind and keep trying, especially if it's something you really want to do. And to that extent, if you find out it's something you don't want to do, at least you tried, and you can say from experience, hey, posting on social media really isn't for me. But at least you can say it because you tried it, not just sitting on the sidelines and being like, oh, that's never going to work. And you didn't even post one piece of content, so how do you know? But the bottom line is to keep showing up, keep posting, post about things that you actually care about, that's authentic to you, and just be patient and wait and see how it grows. And with time, I think more and more views come in. You start to find your audience. And thankfully, you have a backlog of videos you've already made that they can go back to as they subscribe to your channel brand new and then go back to see what else you're working on. So yeah, I think it forces you to just not give up and to keep trying and to keep giving it your best shot and showing up every day, because sometimes that's like 90% of success. It's just showing up. So those are just my thoughts and opinions about why I think posting on social media is still a good thing to do. And I get it. There's the good and dark side to all this social media stuff. But I don't know. I feel like that's even more reason to post. Let's drown out the negative stuff as much as possible and put more positive, interesting content out there. I think we need it now more than ever too. I know there's the rise of AI and all these things, but I think that just means there's more demand for real human content. And if it's something you've been wanting to do, why not try it? You only got one life. Like, do the things you're curious about, do the things you're interested in, and see where it takes you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it motivated you in some way, and I will see you next time.